17 races, and it all comes down to this: 130 laps at Chicagoland Speedway. The city of Chicago is known for being absolutely gritty, and the drivers tonight will have to be if they want to go home with the championship. 4 drivers, Jake, John, James, and Travis, go at it tonight. The best finisher of the 4 goes away with the Florida State Builders Area Pro Series Championship. Hi, everybody. Kyle Heyer, joined by Connor Horn and Hunter Slappy. Connor, welcome aboard. This is it, and this is time to go. If you haven't won a race yet, you got your shot tonight. John Furness would be the only driver of the top 4 that is winless, but he doesn't appear that he's going to make it tonight.
I don't believe he's going to, barring a big change, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Either way, we're going to have at least 3 impressive drivers going into the finale tonight with a shot at the title. James Scioli, pretty much the all-time greatest of all time in the area's Pro Series with 27 wins to boat. The rest of the 3 combined only have 7 wins, and that's still 20 behind Scioli. So this should be an interesting race. Neither driver of the Championship 4 has won here at Chicagoland, so a little bit of a different story for these drivers tonight as we look at the temperatures. The temps are high, but it looks like that track temp is going to come down a little bit as we get later into the night, and this should be a slick and fast racetrack, Hunter, and it should be a good show.
It was just as good of a show Monday and Tuesday, so I wouldn't expect anything less from that. Scioli did win the race on Monday night, albeit that was on a different pitch strategy at the end of that Cup race, but does have a win under his belt here from Monday night, and then Tuesday night, Jake Matheson won the Truck Series Championship. Unfortunate he couldn't go 2 for 2 with the situation that was there now on Monday night, but hopefully all things are good for Scioli, Nichols, and Travis Beckner tonight.
Yeah, and of course, this is really your last opportunity. We're going to be going on break for a couple of months, so if you want to win a race, this is your last chance to do it. And Chicagoland, Connor, this is a rough, abrasive racetrack. You've got multiple groups to play with. You've got places to go. But in both races, Monday and Tuesday, the race came all the way down to effectively Hail Mary on the last lap. And both times, the driver throwing the Hail Mary wasn't able to keep it. But we got an upset on, I would say, both nights. So could we see the same tonight?
Yeah, I think we could easily see the same tonight, but I think this race might get more spread out than the other 2 nights. We saw the Cup cars and the Truck Series. The Truck Series got more spread out than the Cup Series race, I believe, but those top 2 in the title fight, which were Jake Matheson and John Hall Tuesday night, were neck and neck pretty much the entire way. And like you said, it came down to pretty much a Hail Mary from John Hall on Tuesday and Jake Nichols on Monday, neither getting the job done. But this race could get spread out. You need to be in Hail Mary range, and that's going to be tough to do, especially if we get a green race, which we've seen on Tuesday, and we had a green second half of the race on Monday night. As we go into qualifying, we got a lot of non-playoff drivers trying to cap their season off on a high note. One of those, JT Poole, he almost drove the show Tuesday night, almost got the race victory, fell back at the end, whether it was old tires or just letting the championship 2 race it out, doesn't matter. But he goes second on the board into a wall after his lap. He's only second to Alex Bell in the 15, which would be a great qualifying run for him, Hunter.
Yeah, JT Poole actually wasn't going to run tonight's race until Travis essentially bullied him to do so. But he said he did pay for my registration fee, so I do have to give him that. So Poole running tonight. We obviously thank everyone for tuning in the middle of March Madness. I know it's a crazy time of year, but we appreciate you spending your time with us this evening as we look to cap off Season 5 of Area. And here comes the 64 of Ed Robertson across the stripe.
31.063. And that's good enough for 3rd on the board of the 7 drivers who have qualified thus far. Casey Lakatos will be the next one to take the green in his number 50. And tonight we're going to see a lot of green flag running is going to be my bet, Connor. It is a big field, so the potential for incidents is there. And one of the things that happened on Monday and Tuesday was drivers getting caught up in wrecks that they weren't planning to be a part of, and that came down to qualifying efforts and penalties and getting yourself back in the field. So, we always talk about how important qualifying is, but is this the most important qualifying of the year?
I think it is the most important qualifying of the year, especially for the championship drivers, not only because we saw what happened Monday and Tuesday to drivers who didn't qualify well, got themselves in the back of the pack, but this is a much bigger field. The Pro Series has been the biggest field of the season throughout the season since we started in October 16th when the Cup Series started with the Area 500. All the way up to now in March, the Pro Series has gotten the numbers. 38 drivers going to take the green flag tonight, and they all hope to take the checkered flag. So you got a lot more cars to pass than you might have on Monday or Tuesday Tuesday if you're in those races. So you can't afford to not qualify like we saw Brad Slaughter or Michael Curhan or me do on Monday night. Curhan was able to overcome it. Me and Brad were not able to really, although Brad got to the front, just couldn't close it out. So this is definitely more important than those other 2 nights, I think.
Yeah, I was just about to ask about turn 2. So you look at David Weishart. In my opinion, it seems like that brand signage, because it starts towards the exit of turn 2, it might create as a somewhat of an optical illusion, just because you don't realize how close it is when you're running up near the wall until it's like at the very last second. Why is it that we're seeing a lot of people struggle in turn 2?
Just seems like a lot of it is just with just how hard it is to really hold the bottom. Cold tires catch you by surprise here. A lot of people see that sign as just the end of the turn, really. A lot of people use that kind of as their benchmark for getting out of the corner, but sometimes it's just not how it works. The safer barrier kicks out at you. And cold tires, it's really hard to hold the bottom. Those tires just won't hold the bottom as well. That's why we saw a lot of drivers struggle on Monday night. And we didn't really see that a lot Tuesday night, but it's definitely going to come into play because of how highly tough these cars are to drive, especially out of the corner. You're going to see drivers either getting close to the outside wall just because they're tight, or they're going to be pushed loose, sliding the right rear quarter panel into the wall. So that Brandt wall definitely comes out in a hurry. It's a good marketing ploy, but I don't think the other drivers agree.
Nice run there by David Weishart, up to second on the board. Alex Bell on provisional pole for the time being. Garrett Grant going to go to 4th place on his lap. And still none of the playoff drivers remaining have gone for a lap just yet. Here's Brad Slaughter Jr. in the Lumar Supra. And he was a driver competing for a championship on Tuesday night. He will not be here this evening, Connor. So I think, especially when there's only 3 of your championship 4, the vast majority of the drivers in this field are just racing for a win. But we did see, especially, we have to highlight JT Poole on Tuesday, who was racing up at the front, but even he stepped back and let the drivers fight it out amongst themselves for the championship. So keeping that in mind is useful, but they're here to race, and they will do so.
You're going to see still aggression at the front, trying to get the race win. You just don't want to be the one to completely affect the championship battle. It's what we saw Tuesday night with Travis Beckner and David Weishart making contact. You do not want to be that one to take someone out of contention, and that's what happened there. Beckner once again in the title fight, hoping for better luck tonight. As we look at that track temp, already down a degree. We'll see if that goes higher or lower. I suspect it should go lower, but you definitely got to be careful racing these guys. You got to race them clean, but that doesn't mean don't race them at all. You race them hard, especially if it's for the win.
Yeah, we saw that a good bit on Monday night. Guys that were out of the championship hunt, not even in the playoff picture to begin with, but looking to end the season on a high note, because like you said, Kyle, we're off for a couple of months, so this is your last shot at winning a race for that period of time until the next season begins. So you don't know, off-season plans could change, life could happen, and something could get in the way of these guys. So these guys got to go out and give it their all like it's their last.
And Pierce across the stripe, 31.078. That's a decent lap. They'll put him 6th. And one of our playoff competitors, actually 2 of them are now on the racetrack. Jake Nichols is going to be the first one to take the green flag off into turn 1. Multi-time champion on the Cup Series side, Connor, makes a transition over to the Pro Series this season. Came up just shy in the championship battle for the Cup Series on Monday. And we saw Jake Matheson come short of winning the Monday championship. He went home with one on Tuesday. So is this Jake Nichols' turn tonight?
I would think so. I would expect him to probably be my pick. We'll see how he qualifies as he comes across the line 3rd. So that's a pretty good time there. I'll put him top 10. Beckner's going to be the next one to post a time. But this is an important race for Nichols to keep the streak going. He could still have 4 straight seasons in a row with a championship in area. It just won't be that Cup title where he was going for 4 in a row. But it's been maybe not the dominant season we expected from him. James Scioli's still the dominant car wins-wise. Nichols got his 2nd last week at Auto Club. Carries the most momentum into this race. But we'll see if Beckner can snap that momentum. He comes across the line 177.264. He goes 6th on the board, so not quite to the 73, but pretty darn close, as now it's James Scioli's turn to put a lap down.
Looking to put down the Rick's Hot Sauce fastest time of the day, as he's on the front straightaway there, and the Rick's Hot Sauce number 7. Said that he hasn't been able to talk about them too much this season, but what an amazing way to cap off the season if he's able to do so, winning the championship. Going to run close to the wall here in 1 and 2, keeping it on the high lane and giving all the momentum he's got down the back.
Let's see what James Scioli has got. Last season, he was just so hard to beat. It felt like in every series. This season he has been defeatable, but not here. 5 wins out of the 16 races that we've had so far. That's almost a third of them. Across the stripe for Scioli, 39.23, and to the top of the board.
Yeah, that's James Scioli. Connor Yeroshak goes faster, though. We didn't even note Yeroshak's return. Took some weeks off after the speeding penalty took him out of contention. He could have very easily been the favorite coming into this race if it was not for that. But back tonight, mainly because No Road to Pro tonight, he goes provisional pole, and he might stay there. Jordan Martin might be the last driver to try to eclipse that mark.
Yeah, Munsell up there as well, P5, Elwood P7 there, as Jordan Martin looks to put down the final time in qualifying. Going to be close, but I think he might have enough time.
Across the stripe for Jordan Martin, and we'll see what he's got. 176.4 miles an hour, 31.184, drops him 22nd. And that is it. Checkered flag is out, and 6 drivers do not qualify. Running buoy all the way down to A.J. Roderick, and that will conclude our qualifying here for our final race of the season. And it has been a good one. Race fans, make sure you subscribe to the Area iRacing Twitch channel to catch the return of the Area Series in a couple months from now. As a subscriber, you'll have Area iRacing emotes to use in the chat. You can also earn double channel points as a subscriber that you can use to redeem for free merchandise, all at the price of just $5 a month. That's twitch.tv/Area iRacing. And if you're looking to eat healthier in 2024 without having to spend extra money, HelloFresh is here to help. Choose from over 40 calorie smart and protein smart meal options each week. Every meal arrives pre-portioned, giving you less time to prep and more time to enjoy your meal. HelloFresh also gives you free breakfast for life with an active subscription. What are you waiting for? Click the link to get started with America's #1 meal kit today and use the coupon code to save 50% off your first box. Go to twitch.tv/Area iRacing, HelloFresh. So in the moments of calm before the chaos here in the Windy City, we're in Joliet, about an hour to the southwest of the city of Chicago. And well, this is a home track to me. I've never really actually been here because I moved after the track was kind of shuffled into retirement, at least semi-retirement, as the Chicago street course idea popped up. But Connor, it's got a lot of unique characteristics, including that back straightaway, and that has been Calamity Corner a number of times this week.
Yeah, we've seen a few incidents in there. I remember one on the Cup side was not involved in it, got by it. But, yeah, you got to be very careful because that's where business really picks up there in the front straightaway, the tri-oval, because you got that big apron on the front tri-oval to make moves, and you're probably going to see 3-4 wide, especially on the restarts with a 38-car field. So that's where we can get crazy as well. It funnels very narrowly down into turn number 1. We saw contact into turn number 1 in one race as well, and we saw turn number 4. If you're not careful, not looking to your outside, you might come up and right to the side of someone. We've seen crashes everywhere on this track, although there haven't been that many crashes, but they've all been in different spots. So this track can be, it's not really Calamity Corner, it's just Calamity Chicago. So we got to be very careful, especially with a big field tonight. Everyone's just got to get spread out pretty quickly and hopefully avoid contact.
Well, the temperature has fallen under 100 degrees. Let's roll through our starting lineup here tonight. Up on the front row in his return to the Florida State Builders Area Pro Series, Connor Yeroshak. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. He's not in the show tonight as far as the playoffs are concerned, but James Scioli looking to defend. He rolls off second in that number 7.
How about Alex Bell, one of those Century United cars dressed in black tonight for what could be their final race as a team. Alex Bell puts him third, 32nd in standings though, but a great qualifying run. David Weishar, who won 2 of 3 races here in Season 4, starts 4th.
Justin Munsell rolls off 5th in the number 6 Toyota Supra, and Jake Nichols, the second of our Championship 3 that have shown up tonight, rolls off 6th.
7th position will be Alan Elwood, winner about 2 or 3 weeks ago in Iowa. JT Poole trying to close out the season with a win himself, was so close Tuesday night. He starts 8th tonight.
9th place, Garrett Grant in the number 5 Ford Mustang. Travis Beckner, the third and final entrant for our final 4. He is going to roll off 10th in the number 27.
So all 3 of our competitors in the top 10. 11th place will be Bronson Stafford, a number 61 Supra. Alongside him will be Ed Robertson, who's still in his McDonald's throwback from back in Darlington, but looks pretty good. He starts 12th.
13th place, Ben Pierce of the 65, Shane Therian, 14th in the number 9 Supra.
15th place, Justin Sogak went for a wild ride last week. He's cleared to return to E-competition this week. He starts 15th. Brad Slaughter Jr. so close 2 nights ago. Could not get done in trucks, but he'll start 16th tonight.
17th, Bryce Senesac in the 09, and 18th, Chris Rabel in the 29.
Rounding out the top half of the field, Cameron Hearn in the 4 car could be his last race for a while. Case Lakatos, same for him. We'll see where he goes. He starts 20th.
Alex Weaver rolls off 21st in the 62. Jordan Martin 22nd in the 38.
23rd place, Jeremy Miller got his best finish of 11th last week at Auto Club. Delant Ballard, his teammate, starts 24th.
Matthew Bell starts 25th at the 43. Shane Abbey 26th in the 84.
27th, Greg Mitchell, playoff driver, eliminated first round. Julio Villalobos Jr. starts 28th.
And the rest of the field scrolling along the bottom of your screen as we get set to go racing tonight. One final time in Season 5 for the Florida State Builders Area Pro Series here from Chicagoland Speedway. Race distance 130 laps. Guys, pick me a winner, and Hunter, let's start with you.
Jake Nichols.
Dang it. Connor, go ahead.
I'm going to go a little crazy. Scioli's going to be my champion, but race winner, I'm going Euroshak. He's way too fast to not win tonight, I think.
All right, I'm going to go...
Well...
I'm going to take...
Pace car's about to pull off.
David Weishart taking the 33 from row 2. Here we go. 130 laps, season finale racing. From the Midwest here in Chicagoland, Florida State Builders Area Pro Series. Green flag flies, and the finale is underway. Lap 1 complete, Euroshak leads it, and Weishart and Munsell got very tight door-to-door down the front straightaway, and already people up on the wheel here, Connor, as laps start to tick away.
I've never seen anyone do that on the initial start as the leader. Euroshak went way to the apron to get a jump best he could. Didn't really get him much of a jump, but he's in the race lead regardless. Scioli's clear for second, just about over Alex Bell. Weishart's now looking for that position, as we're already seeing drivers near the wall like Weishart, and a lot of drivers on the way bottom, though.
Close quarters racing there through the turn. Not going to be as packed as we saw Monday night, but still packed nonetheless. There's multiple rows of double file racing going into turn 1. There you see Alex Bell working on the outside of Scioli for the second spot as he's got a nice run off the turn. Here comes Weishart looking to give a strong push.
Down the back straightaway into turn 3. Bell goes up to the high side here. And this is multi-groove, but maybe not the same way that Fontana was last week. Look at the run Bell got out of turn 4. He's coming for the lead now on the outside of Euroshak.
This would be a great finish to his season if he could get any sort of top 5. It was, I think, internet issues, mainly storms, that took him out of a top 5 run last week, but he could be in for maybe another potential top 5 run. He goes to the lead on lap number 4 around Euroshak, shuts the bottom off there, weaving a little bit, maybe some Indy 500 snaking. We could see Euroshak trying to save the tires though, but either way, that 15 looks good out front.
Alex Bell, best finish of the season, was 11th back in Atlanta, so this would be a massive boost of confidence and momentum going into the offseason as Weishart looks to complete the pass around Justin Munsell for third. Interesting to know, top 4 non-championship drivers, these guys all going at it for the win, especially Justin Munsell, still searching for that win. Weishart won this race a season ago, and he's got a strong run to the outside of Euroshak in the 30.
Yeah, Alex Bell has lit the afterburners tonight with how good of a qualifying effort he had, how quick he is on the initial start. But is this going to come back and haunt him later, burning up the tires too quick? We're seeing a lot of conserving out of Nichols and Scioli. I think they know that if you burn up your stuff too early in this run, you're just going to go backwards. We have a tendency in these races to go pretty green flag, so plan for the long run tonight. You might need those tires.
Yeah, and I would not be surprised to see the 15 fall back maybe in the next 10 laps or so.
Cars in the wall, 64. Ed Robertson bounced off it, but I think everyone kept it straight. We'll keep rolling.
We'll keep it straight. A little right front damage. Oh, caution, we got a crash in the way back. I think one of the CUM cars are in it. Michael Muhammad. I think Spencer Brown is another car.
I think Durham might have been in it as well. A couple of cars involved in it. Go back and have a look.
Not a good end of the season for him. That's 2 races in a row.
I think it might have been ahead of, well, because he was ahead of Durham. Oh, he was already having connectivity problems, and in the proximity that you'll be running here in Chicago. I don't think this is going to work out very nicely. We can go off the nose of
Spencer Brown. Ooh, Ryan Hart's got clipped. I think Villalobos got a piece too, but he was blinking, but I don't think that caused a crash. I think Brown thought he had the bottom, and Muhammad got driven through. Tom Bourne, a bit of damage. Could be his last race in area competition as well. But yeah, I think. I don't know if you agree with me or not, Hunter, but it looked like Spencer thought he had the bottom, and he didn't.
Yeah, it looked like it was a bit of a send there, as you see the 3 of Hart's. I don't even think Hart's had a qualifying time down, but he was full throttle just trying to avoid the wreck. See that carnage unfold in front of the 16 of Tom Bourne. Not what he wanted to see.
No, I think I'd concur with that assessment, which looked like a real big send very early in the race, or he just misjudged and thought that the 77 wasn't going to come down the racetrack that much, but not quite enough room early in this race, but that'll trigger a yellow for the first time today, and there are 5 cars on pit lane. Muhammad is definitely out. I imagine that some of these other cars will spend some more time on pit lane, but they look repairable. This one maybe not, at least to any appreciable degree. That was a pretty big hit there for Tom Bourne.
Yeah, and it's not been as good of a season as he hoped for, and that might be his season over, because that is a lot of damage. You can see the right front's kind of bent up, and obviously no hood doesn't help either. Nose is punched in. Tough end to a potential end of his season, but Travis Beckner had a good initial start. He went 10th to 7th. Yeah, I see you staring at us, Travis. Still a little bit behind.
There's the yellow flag. He pulled it out for us again.
And he's still a little further behind his teammate, not his teammates, but his competitors in this championship fight, but he made good progress quickly.
Well, at least he's not doing it under green, and looking back at it, going to be an interesting season if Beckner wins this championship. Doesn't have as many top 5s or top 10s as the rest of the playoff competitors, or championship contenders, I should say, but has that one win from Bristol where it was just an amazing last lap pass. 180 laps led, average finish of 14th. That's the lowest of the championship 4, well, I should say championship 3, because John Ferguson's in, but looking to play it cool, calm, and collected still early on here in Chicagoland.
That's the thing, is if you look at the average finish, Jake Nichols' average finish of 7th with 2 wins. James Scioli, his average finish is 12th. So, Hunter, that tells you that Nichols has really been the star achiever as far as consistency is concerned, but Scioli has just been lighting up the win column.
Yeah, Scioli has more poles, more wins. He has 5 less top 5s and 4 less top 10s than Nichols. That was part of the reason why Jake Nichols was able to win the regular season championship and get all those bonus points to get into the championship 4 round, even with missing at least part of Bristol. So he's been consistent, but it doesn't take consistency to win tonight. It takes a race win, and Scioli's got everyone else beat in that category in this series.
Wow, that pace car takes a real hard left out of 4, doesn't it? Here we go, yeah, green flag, back lap number 10, and we're back underway after a short intermission for a 5-car collision in turn number 3. Alex Bell shoots out of a cannon. He's free and away. Look at JT Poole in that number 26. He was right in the thick of it on Tuesday, and he's going to be the same right between 2 of the championship 3 out of turn 2.
And almost just like Tuesday night, he's getting in between the title fight for the time being. 3 wide in the back. Jordan Martin in the middle of it, but Poole got to the bottom. Nichols was kind of the odd one out on the top side through 1 and 2, but they'll be much more usable up there through turns 3 and 4 as Bell, Yaroshak, Scioli, Poole, Jake Nichols, the top 5. We're 4 wide down the tri-oval. In the back of this, in front of this actually.
Ooh, man, that is close right there. That's Garrick ran in the 5 there. The area's Ironman still running strong in the top 10. Elwood having a good run so far, but they're in the back part. You see, oh man, that is Slaughter looking to the inside. I was just about to say, Casey Lacoste, the black number 50, he's having a good run inside the top 10. Here comes 09 Sinisag with a strong run to the outside.
That big movement here by the 50 and the 15. Lacoste kind of walled the 09 Senesac there a little bit out of turn 4. It's tight quarters here at Chicago. Mile and a half racetrack, but it feels very narrow, especially on corner exit. And up the outside comes the 09. He's going to throttle up here. But Lacoste slips, and through comes the green and black car. Look out, everybody scatters.
Lacoste got a really bad run off the corner. I think he got loose, had contact with Ed Robertson, but they at least kept it straight for now. Miller goes by, Thiering got by, Senesac got by at 50. Now he's starting to fall. as Alex Bell continues to lead. Alan Elwood's on the way apron trying to make room up, and that's where I think it's the most narrow. Into the corner, turn number 1. It's almost like Kansas. Get all that room on the apron. Drivers are going to use it, but you'll go from like 6 lanes to 3 in the turn number 1. You got to be ready for that as Beckner almost shut the door on Slaughter. He gave the 8 route, but Slaughter lifted.
Yeah, Slaughter working that outside lane early. You can see from the bumper of Beckner to the left of that is Brad Slaughter just trying to work his way through. He's actually side by side with him down the straightaway. You got Garrett Grant following him as well. Like I said, Area's Ironman. If he completes every single lap tonight, guys, across all 3 area series, Garrett Grant will be at 28,000 laps completed.
That is so many laps. I don't even think I've done 28,000 in my entire iRacing career. Car in the wall in the background, Jordan Martin bounces off of it. That's another thing we've seen a lot of this week, Connor. Not a lot of yellows, but a lot of bouncing off the fence, and that can turn into a yellow very fast.
Comes out of nowhere, comes up in a hurry, and you're trying to get all you can down the straightaways because that momentum matters, and that's why we've seen some drivers bounce off the wall here and there. Jeremy Miller, he might be one to bounce off the wall here and there as well, but so far so good. Might have gotten a little contact in that lap, whatever it was, the first caution. He's going way high on the Robertson. There it is.
Boy. That was almost not going to work. I cannot believe he got that super up the outside of Ed Robertson. That was a risky move, but it might pay off.
Well, he asked me under yellow if he had damage. Well, now he does. He didn't earlier, but you can see the right front dinged up. He is sliding on the outside, but he is making ground up after bouncing off it. Now he goes to the inside of
Hello, 3 wide for the lead. JT Poole in the center. He is on a mission to win this race, and he's going to take the lead away.
It's a heck of a move. There. But yeah, that's great racing out there. That's circa Brad Keselowski. That was 10 years ago. Senatac's in the wall now.
Big hit on the 09 there in the back, but Poole to the bottom, and Alex Bell to the outside. There's still 3 wide. Oh, that's almost close quarters racing there. Brody Falcon in the 42 and Alex Weaver in the 62. Almost coming together in turn 3 there, but up front still Alex Bell leading that time by. Poole getting it to him on the outside, and Slaughter's making his way up towards the front.
What a great fight here between these two. Alex Bell on the bottom, JT Poole on the top. No championship on the line. Their only goal is to be the fastest driver in this race and win the race tonight. Connor Yurashak sitting back and idle. And then the championship 3, 5, 6, and 7 right now, Connor.
Yeah, they're all just watching them race, keeping the tires on the thing while these 4 go crazy for the lead. Jake Nichols is at the back of it, but James Skylerly, Travis Beckner, they are letting them get up to about 0.4 of a second ahead. They're waiting in the weeds, biding their time, but they're staying ahead of all this in the background. We got 4 or 5 lanes. They are 4 wide in the turn number 1. Brave away the track. He slides. How about the crossover from Cameron Hearn? They're 3x3. This is almost Talladega all over again. Munsel's in the wall.
That could have been real bad there for Chris Rabel. Had to rework his entry because of how low the car was to the inside of him and slid up the track there. So fortunate that he got through unscathed. Meanwhile, still 3 deep towards the somewhat front of this. It's still the eye of the storm. Got Matthew Bell right there in the middle of that. Casey Lacadas as well. Lacadas looking to end the season on a high note for Central United Motorsports. They've announced their departure from area after this season and after this race. So we want to thank Central United for all that they've given to area throughout the course of the last couple of seasons, as up front the battle still continues for that lead. I mean, this is like a miniature version of Auto Club, Kyle.
I mean, they call Chicago the Windy City. I didn't expect it to be a hurricane, though. I mean, there's just winds blowing in every direction right now. First is a battle, to 18th is a battle, 30th is a battle right now. You can't get away from it on the racetrack, but just big moves being taken here, big liberties, a lot of giving and a lot of taking early in this race, but Connor, I don't think there's going to be a lot of giving later in this race.
There's not much giving right now. Poole got, Brad Slaughter got to the inside JT Poole. Poole put the pinch on him, got the really sideways corner entry. Now that battle subsided for now. We're still 3 wide back here with that Kevin Harvick's main scheme on the 62 of Alex Weaver. The 3x3 for about the last 5 laps. Now we're back to 2x2, 3 lanes deep. Weishart's in the middle of it as well, the most recent and only winner at Chicagoland. But he's way at the back at 18. He started 4th. Whoa. Look at this move. That's not going to work easily. Well, that was an easy decision to back out.
He had come to pit lane, Connor. That's why he is down this far. And I don't know that I would have not done that, but he wanted to try something, I suppose. But he's now, look where he is, 13 lap pressure tires, 7 lap pressure tires, sorry. But he has gone effectively nowhere since the restart.
One person who's starting to fade. We are starting to see that 15 fade. Alex Bell's back to 4th. might go even further back. We'll have to see, but I kind of agree with you, Kyle. I didn't see the reason to take fresh tires there. He is faster, at least when he had some clean running time. He was a little faster than the leader, but it wasn't by much, and I expect that to even out before long, as we're starting to see our first title competitor actually try to get to the front. Jake Nichols, at least half a second ahead of James Scioli. He's about to go for the race lead on JT Poole to the outside.
Poole, is he going to give him the lane up there? Almost about put him in the wall there as we're riding on board with the 73 and Nichols, looking to work his way towards the lead. And you could just tell the night and day difference between running the bottom and running the top. You get the run off the corner, propels you down the straightaway, and looking for the lead into turn 3 is the 73 Jake Nichols.
Yeah, taking an early lead too, and with the propensity for these races to go green for a long time, if Jake Nichols can get this advantage now, he is a serious threat to Scioli and Beckner if he wasn't already, because he's going to have the advantage of track position, and he can set the pace of his race, and he's got the advantage of going longer on the run because he doesn't need to make up time on anybody. So I really like Jake being aggressive here on this opening stint and just trying to get track position and the lead so he can be the one calling the shots later in the day.
That's something that really a little bit hurt him on Monday night. He wasn't able to really get away from Michael Curhan and allowed Curhan to get that undercut, and that was the difference between the championship number 4 and nothing. So I think he's doing something a little bit different here, trying to get track position.
Spin, turn 4. Steve Durham is one of them. Cameron Hurt, nope, that's DeLont Ballard.
And Ballard.
Villalobos is going to drive through it.
Brandon Bowie.
Oh, that one car is destroyed.
It's not going to be a good ending to the season for a number of Century United cars. Durham destroyed. Spencer Brown just rolled through there, and that was a big crash out of 4 out of nowhere. Ballard was in it, Bowie was in it, but I might start with Durham here.
Have a look. For one.
Oh, man.
Oh, Ballard got absolutely. That is an ugly wreck.
It is, and I don't think, I mean, the blinking could have caused it, but it didn't look like something like that. I think it looked like he just throttled up too much, got loose, and then Rabel gets a piece, but Pierce, and then Bowie, Ballard, huge hits there. Villalobos kind of just had to take evasive action. You can see him get sideways there. Oh, man, Ballard never saw it.
No, he's just blindsided. Just absolutely blindsided.
Villalobos actually got through.
He was on board here. He saw it coming and just couldn't change the momentum of the car quickly enough.
He's had nothing go his way. 2 weeks, last week Auto Club caught up in a bunch of crashes, wasn't able to get into the Final 4. Much better tonight.
Well, pit stops, and lots of them, and David Weishart stays out.
A lot more laps on the tires than compared to the advantage he did have. We'll see if he can stay up there. As we'll see, make sure you get into your stall. Scioli very conservative as everyone's in, and everyone will soon be out as Ryan Hartz might have gotten the lucky dog, not quite sure. He was 6 laps down actually, so he's taking a wave as we'll see the race out of pit lane. Scioli's out, Poole trying to get him. Look at him speed up, but it's Connor Yeroshak with stall number 1 getting the first place position.
Oh, did it give second to JT Poole? I was just about to joke that Nichols needed another foot to beat out JT Poole. I still don't know how he didn't. I don't even know if that was him or it might have been someone else, but that was still absurd, Kyle.
On Monday?
The guy was a full foot ahead of the car.
It wasn't even a
him.
foot.
Yeah.
It was like an entire car length, and the entire time down pit lane, he still got beat out somehow. And it sounds like Jeremy Miller has gotten pipped for speeding. He will drop to the tail of the field.
He was up to 11th even with the wall contact, but it is going to be tough to get back through this field. Even with 100 laps, it's hard to get that many positions back, as Weishart should keep the lead. He should stay out here. I would not expect them to come down. And looks like Spencer Brown and Ryan Hartz were hoping for a wave around. They're going to get denied wave arounds, and Yeroshak will be the first one on new tires.
I guess for David Weishart, I guess I can sympathize a little bit with this strategy, but not at the extreme that it ended up at. Had this caution been 10 laps ago, I think he would have looked really smart.
Yeah, it would have been a little better, but now with that yellow lap 25, he put himself in a bad box here, and he's on an island on his own, and there's no way he's going to escape it. He's probably going to drop not too hard, as you can see, 20 more laps on the tires. It's going to be roughly 17-ish with caution laps, but yeah, this is going to be tough for him to make work, and I'm sure he's probably hoping for maybe a 40-ish lap run and hoping this doesn't go to the end.
If this goes on the long run, this could go in favor of Weishart. But the one race we did have last year, late caution with 24 to go, they kind of mumbo-jumbo things up. But we'll see what happens in the end. But this could, if this does go green in the end, Kyle, this could work out in favor for Weishart.
We'll find out. We'll get the one green this time or next. Race fans, head over to simwrapmarket.com for custom iRacing paint scheme templates that are simple and easy to use so you can stay more focused on the racetrack. That's simwrapmarket.com. Lights out on the safety car, and next time by, we're going back green. Weishart to the bottom, Euroshack to the top, then Nichols, Poole, Bell, Scioli, the rest of your front three rows. Travis Beckner will restart in 7th. Dark Horse just hanging out here, Connor. Maybe not the fastest of the three so far, but he is in position.
Might be cautiously aggressive tonight after Tuesday night's issue, something that was completely out of his control. So he's probably going to be tiptoeing a tiny bit just because of being aware of what happened Tuesday night, but he will turn up the aggression when it matters the most, and he's probably just going to watch these two hopefully battle themselves into worse tires and try to pounce on him. But they've got to get the Nichols first. If he gets clean air here and then gets an even bigger gap than what he had, it's going to be tough to catch that 73. That goes for Scioli as well.
So we're going to restart with 101 laps to go. Take one down, pass it around. David Weishart on the lead here for the restart. Lap 30 of 130 in the Florida State Builders Area Pro Series finale. Green flag, we're back underway.
Good jump for Weishart, but it was actually Jake Nichols who might have gotten the best restart there. He gets the 3rd from restarting 5th. And Euroshack, just like restart number 1, he got back in line, and now he has a run for the lead. Here comes Scioli for 4th.
Oh, spin, back straight away.
Back.
I think it's Brandon Bowie.
Back out, yep.
He immediately said on the radio his fault.
And Weishart will keep the lead.
It's actually pretty big for him.
Scott in the wall, and then, just turns left across the nose of Ryan Hartz.
Carlo!
Yeah, that one you can't really get away with. It's a good thing he noted that he was at fault for it, because camera doesn't lie, and I'm sure Ryan Hartz is not stoked about that.
Yeah, like I said, Bowie immediately over the radio. Miller used up to 78 there, but yeah, Bowie, I think, tried to get out. That was a crazy move. He saw the momentum he had on the 78, tried to make a move. I think if he stayed a lane up, maybe it works, but yeah, definitely not clear going that far down, and damages his car a little more, damages the 3 car, who's been pretty beat up already a little bit more. So get another restart, and David Weishart gets another few laps to cling to the race lead, I should say.
Yeah, but that's tough for the 3 of Ryan Hartz, just trying to make it through. This has been a season to forget for the 3. Best finish came at 4th in Homestead, and then his last top 10 was 10th at Talladega, so really hasn't gone much in favor of the 3. He does have a couple of poles on his name, but you'd like to get a win in top 5s and top 10s and contend for the playoffs, which unfortunately he wasn't able to do. But just trying to end the season on a strong note is the 3 of Hartz.
Already it's been put in a damper, involved in 2 separate collisions, neither of which were his own doing, and neither of which he had any chance to avoid, really.
Yeah, he had no chance in anything, and that one he just got completely chopped. So, not the night he wanted to end the season on. As Steve Durham's on fire. That's never a good sign when you're sitting in your pit stall.
Yeah, notice how all the Central United cars are running black, as if it's like a funeral race for them.
Well,
you got one in the top 10.
Funeral or a barbecue, because that one car he's been on pit lane now for 8 minutes. I don't think that car's going anywhere.
Well, sometimes the food at a funeral hit different.
He's had a lot of cars on fire this season.
If it's barbecue, yeah.
Barbecue at a funeral? That feels kind of on the nose, doesn't it?
Some families do that.
31st in points for Durham, so it has kind of been a fiery type of season in a bad way for him. And had a lot of crashes, some not as doing, some were as doing. Best finish this season, trying to look it up on the fly, best finish of 13th at Bristol about a month ago, so definitely not the season he wanted.
So 2 to green this time by, and guys, we haven't really gotten the longer run that I was anticipating. And Connor, if I had to guess, this will probably be one of those races where you get the quick barrage of yellows and then it just spreads out and goes. So you're kind of playing chicken with when it's going to do that, because you want to be the driver that pits latest before that.
Yeah, we kind of saw that Monday night where we had a lot of yellows. Longest run was about 30 laps until we got to the halfway point, and that last caution of the race got a green flag run in, got green flag pit stops, had strategies play out. So we could be seeing something similar tonight, but we have 10 last laps, so that run to the end is going to be a little bit different if we do get that green flag run. At this point, going to restart with probably 96 laps to go. Still definitely a pit stop away. So strategies are still going all over the place. Everyone's still brainstorming what they can do to get track position at the right time. So it should be interesting to see how this plays out. Because like you said, this is maybe not what we expected, but with 38 cars in a track like this, it's going to get a little chaotic until we get to that green flag running. And it's kind of like Monday night. We kind of got rid of some cars, then it got green. Maybe the same is needed tonight, as we are already seeing a decently high attrition rate, about 4 cars, maybe 5 out of the race.
Lights out, and we'll re-rack him, restack him, and go again. High start on the bottom, and then Connor Urashak up on the high side. And Connor was going for the lead. He might have actually had a nose ahead, but yellow came out. Previous loop had Weishart as the leader, so Connor, as you pointed out, David will get to lead a few more laps than he might have otherwise. And Jake Nichols restart in row 2, James Scioli in row 3, and Travis Beckner in row 4. 3rd, 5th, and 7th, all the odd places on the inside line are where our playoff drivers reside.
And we'll see if Nichols could maybe get to that 2nd position. I thought he was going to have a shot at Urashak Alpha 4 if that played out, because I think he would have been on the inside. And if Nichols went to the top, could have had a better run. So see what he can do. We'll see if Scioli's strategy and Beckner's strategy changes up. Maybe they get a little more aggressive on this run, because any restart could be the final restart. So you got to be ready to have your restart game on point, especially Beckner, who's 3rd of 3 competitors for this type.
Here we go. Pace cars off and restarting. Lap 35 of 130. Green flag back in the air here in Chicago.
Urashak didn't get going that time, so Nichols is going to get the 2nd. Scioli might follow in 3rd. Beckner is too far back to follow up, but Nichols actually very conservative on the bottom out of 2. And Urashak's going to get back to his outside.
Side by side down the back end of 3. Nichols on the bottom of Urashak with the other Miller Racing car to the outside of Scioli. That's JT Poole. And another championship 4 driver, Travis Beckner, running in 6th, but on board the bumper of Weishart. They're going to be split in 3 wide in the middle. Look like Urashak has that lane on the outside in the 1.
Yeah, Urashak not waiting around. Took a couple-week break, and he's right back in the thick of things. Look at JT Poole's going to have a big run, and Weishart is going to just be a sitting duck here. Dustin Munsell kind of shuffled the 15 out of the way in the background. Here comes Jake Nichols to the bottom, looking for 2nd on Poole.
Yeah, he's a sitting duck, not a lucky duck like Scioli on the Cup side, but definitely going to drop here. Now he's onto the top side. Best place Weishart could probably be to drop back is that higher line. Middle's worst case scenario, and it's just hard to hold the bottom on older tires compared to everyone else. So he's going to go to the top, 3 wide with Munsell and Alex Bell, as Urashak and Poole, the 2 teammates, get to the front. Nichols in 3rd, and Beckner's looking to get P2 in the championship for the time being. He's on the outside of Scioli now.
Already got the podium spot locked up, Beckner does, but that's that fault of John Furness not being here tonight, which is unfortunate. But still 3 guys contending for the championship, running 3rd, 4th, and 5th for the time being. Justin Munsell on the outside of Scioli, looking for 5th in the 1.
15 comes down to cover off the number 5. That 27 Now right behind the 73 of Jake Nichols. Maybe it doesn't help that he's been at the drawn the ire of the 7 and the 73 at different points in the past. And so this is, well, I think everyone's on kind of on score 0 heading into the night. It doesn't mean it couldn't be that, as the 33 was really struggling out of turn 4. He's dropped to 14th, and the bleeding continues, Connor.
This is why I don't think it's great if this goes fully green, because he's going to lose a lot of time by the time their green flag pit stops would eventually hit. And now look at what he's created. He's got about 8, 9 cars stacked behind him, 3 wide. Miller's in the middle of it trying to recover from a speeding penalty. This is where we have issues.
Yeah, there's Shane Abbey on the bottom looking up as the multi-row 3-wide action still continues on the front stretch with Brody Fowler there. You got Jeremy Miller right in the middle of that. That's not a good spot to be in. Heading into 1, still trying to make it all work somehow.
Yeah, little mistakes here turn into big accidents, and somehow they've skated through there without any dramas. The 2 clears the 33, and they have sorted it now. Now it's up at the front where things are starting to get spicy. Alex Bell, again, jumps to the outside. That 15 car has got legs today.
Well, how about the 50? Teammate Case Licata, it's almost like a tandem on the top line. They're both into the top 5, passing championship competitors, pushing each other into turn number 1. And they got to be loving this right now, as they're the only 2 up there. Bell fell back after doing this earlier, but now here comes a teammate in the 50 to help him. They got runs. They almost hit the wall.
Lakatos did hit the wall.
Bell pulled out to go for second.
Held to the inside of pulling 3 as he's looking to end the season on a high note. Him and Lakatos for Central United Motorsports again. Done operations after season 5 of area, which is tonight. So these guys running inside the top 5, trying to give them one more strong run to the end of the season as they head into 1 door-to-door from 5th.
Lakatos, he's got a missile himself too. What is up with these cars tonight? They have showed up to play, leaving nothing on the table. Yurashak over Poole, then Lakatos and Bell. And here comes Travis Beckner through on Jake Nichols. He is now the leading driver of the championship contenders.
Yeah, well, only between those 2 teammates, only 1 top 10 plus top 5 all season. That was Case Lakatos, 3rd at Indianapolis after that crazy finish with fresher tires than everyone else around him. So 2 drivers who have struggled in the points a little bit, like we mentioned. Bell 32nd.
Look at him go! Just driving around the outside.
And this has got to be the ride of a lifetime for Lakatos. It reminds me, remember that Texas race in Fuel? That was a crazy win. This is what it's reminding me of right now. He's about to go to the lead.
Well, not even that. He won the first race of the season, the area's preseason shootout on Fuel at Daytona, and he's looking to lead the lap here. He'll do just that, trying to clear the 12 of Euroshack, but JT Poole, his teammate, could have given him a little push going into 1 before diving his nose out to the outside. Oh!
He got loose. Lakatos did at the front. I thought he was spinning.
They've just got a lot of speed, and I don't know where it's come from, but they are using it. Maybe it's short-term speed, but that's what we've had so far tonight is relatively short runs. Look at him throttling up around the outside at 3 and 4, and everyone else stuck to the bottom. Lakatos making that middle groove work.
And we know that what I've heard from other drivers, that the right rear is what wears the most. We haven't gotten to a point where we see that come into play yet, but maybe those slides from the 50 are part of it, as he got so sideways through the turn number 1 area last run by. He's doing it again. That's why he's not getting the run out of 2 that he wants, and that's why Yurashak's able to stay down there.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of that in the original stint, I believe, with the 15 of Alex Bell, where he had that strong speed to start out the run, but as the run progressed, he started to fade a little bit as Lakatos still looking to clear the 12 of Euroshack. He'll continue to lead laps, but Kyle, he wants to come down and clear the 12 and set sail.
Trying, but I don't know how long, even if he gets clear. I think he's burned up his tires. Another big slide out of 2. You can see the yaw in the car, and they're still side by side for 4th. Travis Beckner's got Bell to his outside, and Justin Munsell has cleared Jake Nichols, and then here comes Garrett Grant as well, that number 5 Mustang into the fray. And Beckner, while he was the 3rd best of the championship contenders, is a big slide, and out of 4, Lakatos does the elevator top to bottom. But Beckner, from last of the championship contenders, up to the lead by 2 drivers over Nichols.
I think Yurashak let Lakatos by down the back because he saw him sliding that badly, and now he got to his outside, so Yurashak back in the lead, and we should see the 50 slip back a little bit here. JT Poole looking for 2nd. Beckner will look for 3rd to 50. A big wiggle, had to correct it there. Now here comes Beckner Beckner's got he's got a decent amount of spots over his championship competitors, and this is what Nichols was doing last run, Hunter. This could be important.
Very well could be, but if we do have a short stint to the finish, don't count out Alex Bell and Casey Lacadas.
Well,
count them in,
I mean,
because that short run speed is definitely different.
If they showed up to put on a show, they are absolutely doing that, even though it might not be long run race winning pace. Here comes Garrett Grant to the bottom in turn 3 underneath Jake Nichols. And now we're starting to see the field fan out a little bit, and everyone can have a little bit of breathing room, at least the first they've seen in a while.
Shane Abbey had a big slide out of turn number 4. We're starting to see that right rear cause issues. That was from 16th, but he keeps it corralled down to the racetrack. We're seeing a lot of drivers all over the track still. Drivers on the top. Matthew Bell's been rim riding the top side this entire run. He's up to 11th doing it. Another sped, still just inside that top 20 position, I believe. Not moving up. That's why it hurts getting speed penalties. Hard to make that back up.
On board with the 26 of JP Poole, and again, he wasn't even going to run this race until Travis Beckner essentially talked his way into it. I shouldn't say bully, but that's what it sounded like. But Poole made a great point that Beckner did pay for his driver fee, but those guys running 1, 2, 3 right now with Beckner leading the championship trio of Jake Nichols and James Schuyler.
Yeah, maybe we should take note of these 3 Chevrolet Camaros out front. Beckner is going to have a shot at the lead here if these 2 drivers continue to fight. And something tells me they will for a bit.
Poole looks strong. He'll get the lead from Euroshack much faster that time by. We'll see if Beckner tries to go for the runner-up spot. Jake Nichols has moved up a little bit. He's back up to 5th. Only person separating him from the title lead is Justin Munsell, who's gotten up into the 4th position. Lacadas struggling back to 9th. Bell's up to 7th. Alex Bell's 7th. Matthew Bell's 10th. But we're seeing that 73, maybe a little bit of urgency to stay with the 27.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten a chance to talk to Justin Munsell yet. He finished 4th earlier in the season at the Charlotte Roval, but that was his best go at it. Still looking to get a podium spot, and maybe we could chat with him after this one's over, but to 1 spot shy of that, and that's being held by Travis Beckner right now. Almost everyone running the bottom. Still some guys trying to make their way through on the outside lane. Lacadas and Bell hold on to what they got inside the top 10 as Garrett Grant now looks to the outside of Jake Nichols.
And Grant started this race in 9th, and he has moved forward or stayed stagnant since. He hasn't gone really much further backwards than 11th, and I think that was
Sorry, bouncing off each other. Bronson Stafford had a big moment out of 4, and he and Shane Theria battling for about 12th or 13th, almost made contact. That was not Bronson Stafford, I guess. Yeah, it was, but that was that was really close. And we're 3 wide back here.
Oh, that's tight out of 2. You can see it coming, too.
Yeah.
It's just hard to arrest all that momentum. And, you know, the drivers can't see out the door, so you can feel it.
Definitely not done doing that either, as these drivers are going to be slipping and sliding all run long. And after pretty much everyone in the field pit at lap 26, Weishart's the only one who didn't do that, really. Probably Matthew Bell's in the wall. He stuck to it in behind all this. But he kept it straight.
Justin Munsell had to lift as Travis Beckner cleared himself off the nose of the 6, and Munsell seems unfazed.
But yeah, Bell hit the wall. That's what I was noting. But we should be looking at around lap 80 for pit stops. That was what I was about to say. Oh, we're still banging doors back here. That was Senesac and Faliker, but still probably about 30 laps out from pit stops.
Might look at them a bit earlier if they're going to continue racing like that, and might trigger a caution.
Won't be under green in that case.
Yeah, they're getting pretty racy here. The top 5 are under a blanket here.
Yeah, Garrett Grant is coming to the front, almost up to 4th. He goes to the outside of the 6 of Munsell.
Are we just seeing comers and goers then? Because we saw this with the 15 and the 50. Now they're 8th and 9th, and 5 is driving forward. So are we just going to see drivers that are good in the short, drivers that are good in the mid, and drivers that are good in the long, just kind of trading and the revolving door up in the front here?
Well, every driver's got their thing, and I think for the 7, the 73, part of their thing is long run speed. That's why they're 6th and 7th. The guys we don't see at the front near the end of the races are usually those guys who are not great long run, those guys who really wear their stuff off, like the 15, like the 50, like the 5, and a few others. There's some drivers who have that middle run speed. That's really when you carry that long run speed to the mid run, then fall off way long run. So definitely got the feel as Beckner goes to the inside for 2nd. Definitely have that feel that we're seeing a lot of drivers go back and forth because of the tire wear and how they're wearing those tires out, obviously.
Yeah, as long as Garrett Grant's been in area, not too many people know that he's actually one of the original drivers to be recognized for saving tires in the early stages of area. And Jake Nichols kind of popularized that because of just how dominant he is. But Garrett Grant is one that knows his way with saving tires and when to use them at the right time. So he's on that same wavelength, but he's looking for third now from the 26th of JT Poole's best finish was 6th just a handful of weeks ago at Bristol.
JT dropping some spots, but Travis Beckner moves up into second place. We're closing in on halfway. And for Travis Beckner, he would just absolutely love if this race went green from here to the end, because he's got that track position advantage I talked about earlier that the 73 had before the whole early yellow with the pit lane swap. So as long as Travis can maintain his speed and his position here, they're running green to the end. No cautions, no funny business, no restarts. Let me handle it the old-fashioned way.
And we'll see if he's able to make that work. Justin Muntz on the same boat. He just got way sideways out of turn 4. That's why Scioli's got to run on him for 6th, or for 5th, I should say. And all of a sudden, it's Jake Nichols, last of the 3 title competitors, in 7th. We start to see Central United drivers just limping around the track on the apron. But Beckner, oh, look at this mess. Beckner's trying to get track position for the end when it matters, like you said, but a lot of this type of racing could easily end that.
Yeah, this is all outside the top 10, with the front of that being the 9 of Shane Terry. And unfortunate break for him last week at Auto Club, where internet issues plagued himself and possibly making the championship 4th. But right behind him, you got Brody Fowler trying to hold on to 13th with Greg Mitchell, Colin Farmer. I haven't talked about those guys much, and Joe 9 of Sandsack was in the wall a couple of times today, but still working the charge inside the top 15.
JT Poole putting some pressure back on the 27, giving him a shove down the back straightaway. James Scioli has gone by Nichols for 6th. Look at the 8. Right up against the outside wall, trying something different.
Meanwhile, we did have David Weishart lap 60. He did come down to the pit 70 laps away. I don't know if he can really make it from here. He does roll back off, so he definitely doesn't quit. You see him right side of the screen. So this strategy's really not going to work if he can't make it on fuel from there.
So something to keep an eye on, Kyle, as the battle for the top 5, inside the top 5, I should say, continues. Justin Munsell trying to regain that 5th spot from Scioli, but to no avail there. Here comes Nichols to the outside of him, as the other two in the championship trio hunt, looking to make their way closer towards the top 5, but it's not going to be easy.
That'll wake you up off into turn 1 and just have the car slide across your nose like that. And Nichols will have this big run down the backstretch, and he'll use it to the bottom this time.
Big run, and they should move up him and Scioli to 4th and 5th. Little ways to go to get to the top 3 low-dollar racing cars. Euroshak, Beckner, Poole pretty much in a line, bumper to bumper. One chasing the other, one defending the other right now. Is Garrett Grant still a little further off that battle? Beckner's in a great spot right now as we close in on halfway.
Yeah, it's like they're protecting the 27 of Beckner. They got one in front, one in behind. He's that package that's wrapped in bubble wrap, Kyle.
He sure is, and JT's playing rear gunner, and Euroshak's got the barrels pointed right out the nose of the airplane right now. And at the moment, I'd only be worried that they might be holding that 27 back. I think maybe if you let Travis get out front, if you really want to assist him, but I don't think Euroshak is going to go to that extreme, at least not yet. They've got Scioli and Nichols covered pretty well for now.
I wonder how these 3 race the 73 and 7 if this kind of stays the same with those 3 kind of boxing in Beckner and having the 7 and 73 have to chase them down. It would be interesting to see how that plays out, as we're starting to see most of the front runners on the bottom. Some drive the middle like Poole and Grant. James Scioli's running the way top line at 3 and 4. A lot of drivers 9th on back are still running way high exclusively though.
Scioli's still making that outside line work. Going to be a little bit of a challenge to get around the 5 with Grant. He's on his own at 4th, but the low-dollar trio just holding their own right now. As you see the 7 still trying to work his way on that outside. Gets a little bit of a run. Beckner's going to look to the inside and try to take the lead from Euroshak, and no contest. Their new leader, Travis Beckner.
They hear me talking about him or something? Through goes the 27 to the lead. We'll see what he can do with that now at halfway. 65 laps complete, 65 laps to go in the Florida State Builders Area Pro Series.
And you saw there, Yurashak had no intention of battling Beckner for that spot. He'll just push him along. JT Poole has every intention to get second, so they'll go side by side. Garrett Grant's now going to look for a podium position. And here comes James Scioli with a run on everyone in front of him, as looks like Jake Nichols still laying back, not wanting to get in that fight.
Playing it smart there is the 73 of Nichols. Even the 7 of Scioli, even though he's closer to the action. Poole completes the pass on Yurashak for second, and now he's got a mirror full of Garrett Grant, who also has a mirror full of Scioli heading into turn 1.
Yeah, tight quarters here. We're following each other very, very closely. Everyone's very trusting at the moment. Maybe later in this race. Won't be slide for the 5 out of turn 2. I do not know how he saved that. I thought for sure that thing was going to the fence.
I thought that was title over for Scioli. I don't know how he kept it off of the 5. Jake Nichols as well. Lost him some time, but they saved race cars. And Grant is probably going to slip back exclusively in that 6th position for now. That was way too close. I saw the 12 shake, but then here, look at this snap loose right there. Not only did he not wreck Hunter, I don't think he even hit the wall.
Yeah, that some good driving there from the 5 of Grant and the 7 of Scioli. Both keeping their cars clean as once again the top 3 still Beckner, Poole, and Yurashak, although the order flip-flopped a few laps ago. But back there you see Nichols and Scioli duking it out for the 4th position, with the 5 of Grant and the 6 of Munsell duking it out behind him as well.
Munsell's going to take him 3 wide, or trying to at least. JT and Connor seem pretty content now following the 27. It is clear that the team is, well, maybe not. I thought they were going to work together, but JT says, all right, bud, you had your chance.
They got it, and look at the gap they put on the drivers behind because of that slip-up from Garrett Grant. It's about 0.7 of a second back to Scioli, so maybe this is JT Poole, Yurashak, all them saying, hey, I'm comfortable with battling now since we have a lead, why not? So they're going to battle it out. JT Poole did not have long-run speed to win Tuesday night. Maybe tonight's the night he gets the race lead.
Travis joked with JT a little bit earlier, saying, where's the race wins, man? He's joking about that.
Travis better be careful, because he asked JT to be in this race, and JT right now is racing him pretty hard for this race win.
Definitely got to be careful, but I'm sure they will be, as another different order. Yeah, careful what you wish for, I suppose, as this is another rendition of the low-dollar racing order. Now it's 26, 12, and 27. This is almost area podium Agami at this rate, as those 3 stay 1, 2, 3. And they continue, even while doing this, continue to be faster than James Scioli and Jake Nichols.
What face do you think goes on the low-dollar bill?
Austin Miller's?
Probably. It might be Beckner.
Beckner had a slide.
If he wins the title, it will be.
Yeah, I suppose so. 7 and 73 take to the top. We just hit 50 laps to go, and things go pretty quick from here, guys. A pit stop, and you call it done.
60 laps to go, but yes.
Oh, thanks.
Math fail, but it's all good. But one thing I'm surprised right now is that even though those 3 started the race, and it didn't seem like Scioli or Jake Nichols were pushing their stuff, they are not faster than the top 3. Scioli's now 0.9 of a second back. Those 3 are starting to pull away, and we might get in the territory for those 2 where they might need to undercut those top 3 competitors, because they're not gaining much as here comes Weishart on his fresher tires.
Starting to slowly make his way through is Weishart as the top 3. Once again, still low-dollar racing holding it down, but the 7 of Scioli going to let Weishart go by, and just like Superman on new tires, Kyle.
Yeah, unfortunately, Superman's still a lap down. He might unlap himself here pretty shortly, but then what?
Can't lap Superman.
Well, they already
That wouldn't
did.
be a good comic at all. He's hoping for when it cycles out, then he wants the yellow. It's the only thing that saves his race at this point, because I doubt he can make it 70 laps on the tank, as we'll see these 2 race each other again. Weishart and Beckner made contact Tuesday night, and they almost came together again. I think miscommunication. Weishart thought he'd have the bottom, and he didn't. And put Beckner's in the wall. He just hit the wall out of turn.
Well, that's not what you want to see if you're anyone that's a fan of Beckner or low-dollar racing, as Weishart's still trying to navigate his way through.
Jeremy Miller. Caution's out.
And that is at a very interesting point in this race. 56 laps to go. And Miller spins out of 2. We'll go back and look at what happened here.
That was just a handful of laps before scheduled green flag pit stop.
That's just a self-spin and then an overcorrect back onto the track. He was struggling. It looks like he got by Shane Abbey in the wall, and it just came around.
And then let's go back and have a look at Beckner's wall contact. Watch that 27. Just washes up the hill, and that's not super light contact, but I don't think it's heavy enough to cause him any strife. But everybody will hit pit lane here, and what do you think the fuel scenario is? Should we be good from here, you think?
55-ish laps. I would think we should be good to the end, but it will be a tiny bit tight, and it'll definitely be a long run on your set of tires, as David Weishart will be the lucky dog. He did not get unlapped in time, so he's going to be tail end, which is tough for him.
Follow-up question. Is this our last yellow?
I say no.
Yeah, so maybe the...
I say yes.
You say yes? All right.
I say yes.
I say no.
I think we go green from here to the finish.
I don't know
Hello,
what
Brian
to think.
Griffin.
I don't know what to think.
I'm saying no. It's going to be a long run on tires. We already saw a lot of slipping and sliding that could have been crashes, not end up being a crash. So I'd be shocked if we went green, race off a pit lane. I don't even know who got it, but we know the low dollar stays 1, 2, 3. Scioli gets 4th from Nichols, who gets 5th.
Yeah, so Poole, Urashak, Beckner, Scioli, Nichols, your top 5. 3, 4, 5 are your championship contenders. Tell you what, this race has been very exciting so far, as all the races have been this week. I'll tell you, Chicagoland's a good place for a finale, isn't it? It has been a spicy week, almost as spicy as rickshotsauce.com. Race fans, be sure to check out rickshotsauce.com for some of the best hot sauces made locally in South Florida. Try the Loxahatchee Classic, Golden Garlic, Palm Beach Pineapple, or South Beach Heat. Follow the Rick's Hot Sauce Rookie of the Year battle, but it's already over, and Jake Matheson won that. rickshotsauce.com. So, Hunter, as we get set for the restart here in a couple of moments' time, we're well past halfway now. Once we get racing, it's going to be under 30 minutes left to go, probably closer to 25 minutes left to go. Has your pick shifted, or are you still happy with who you have?
I'm still committed to Jake Nichols. I mean, in the long run, he's always there, so I'm never counting on Jake Nichols whenever it's a long run. I feel like we will have a green flag run to the finish. 73 is going to prove why he should be champion, which, by the way, he's won every Cup championship since he's joined, except for Season 5, so he still wants to be a champion in some sort of level and area, which that hasn't happened for literally since Season 1, where Jake Nichols, he's won a championship in something since he's been in area, so it would be a surprise if he doesn't.
Yeah, to go without a championship in a season where it's not like he didn't perform. He performed very well. But it was just Jake Matheson on the Cup side that just stole a lot of wins away. And then on the Pro Series side, it was James Scioli that wrestled some wins back, Connor. So Jake Nichols obviously has been very, very solid, but he has not been the overwhelming winning force that he was in the Cup Series a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah, not the same sort of dominance at all. I think he might have only had the one win in the Cup side, and that was back a while ago, I believe. That might have even been back in Atlanta. One was Atlanta on the Xfinity on the Pro Series side, but his Cup win was back at the end of November in Dover. So 3 wins across 2 series. Probably not what he envisioned on the season, but it really doesn't matter if you have a shot at the championship in 2 of those series come this time in March in Chicago. So it's still been a great season, maybe not to his standard, but he still had a shot at 2 titles. He still had a shot to go 2 for 2 coming into this week, and you can't ask for much more than that except to win 2 for 2. But he could still go 1 for 2 and 1 for 1 in Pro Series.
Oh boy. All right. Well, I'm very interested in how this restart's going to go, Kyle. I would expect the low dollar racing guys to set up a preliminary blockage for the 7 to 73, but also looking at the guys in the back like Garrett Grant, the 6 of Munsell, even the 4th Cameron Hearn, who's there in the top 10. Don't think we've talked about him all night, but some of these guys are looking at the season on a high note and with a win, still working their way through the field.
Well, now we're almost about 50 laps to go. My math blunder a little earlier. It's been a tough couple of weeks. A lot of broadcasts on Sim TV. If you've been following, and this is the last one for a while. We've got more, but the last of my 5 stream weeks for some time. Here we go, lap 79 of 130, and the Florida State Builders Area Pro Series finale is back underway. JT Poole fires off on the inside lane with teammate Travis Beckner behind him. Connor Yurashak slots in right ahead of Jake Nichols into turn one.
And whether this goes green to the end or not, you're going to see more urgency from those two behind Yurashak to get closer to Beckner. I don't know if Yurashak got loose or he got the boot from Jake Nichols, but Nichols trying to go low, but Yurashak's clear. Maybe he'll be rear gunner here for the next 51 laps.
Well, he's letting the 7 to the outside. Strong run from Scioli. Going to be close to making contact there off the turn. There was none. The 7 clears for third, and now Nichols looks to the outside trying to get around Yurashak into 1.
Yeah, that 12 is trying to keep the floodgates closed, but James Scioli is through, and that is not what Travis Beckner wants to see in the rearview mirror at the moment. They're 2 and 3 wide behind him. There's Justin Munsell on the bottom. And then behind that, there's even some 3 abreast into turn 3. But look at the 7 now throttling up on the outside. Can that Rick's Hot Sauce Toyota get to the outside of the Calusa Pines Chevrolet? Here we go. 50 to go.
He's going to look to the outside, doesn't have the run for it, but this is exactly what I thought would happen. This could be the final run of the race, so we're not going to see as much tire saving from those top 3 title competitors. They're going to try to get the track position over one another here. It's exactly what Scioli's trying to do here. He's got the right rear just barely from Beckner. Beckner's content on that bottom line, but Scioli wants the top spot in the title fight.
He's going to look for it here in turn 3, actually going to just settle back in line. So he's going to put that top side to the rest for now as still looking at the bumper.
Shane Abbey had another big moment out of 4.
The lead. Beckner going for it down here at 1 and 2. But this opens up an opportunity for James Scioli. If James times this right, these two side by side is going to give him a big run out of 4. He's going to go to the bottom, I think, and try to follow the 27 through.
I don't think he'll be able to do that. He might get himself boxed in between the 2 low-dollar teammates and Poole and Yurashak. Poole has a run back of Beckner. He's not going to go to the outside. He's going to shove him down into turn number 1. So Scioli in a much better spot track position-wise than he was. But now here comes Yurashak to take that spot back on the top side. Look at the run he has.
Trying to work his way around the 7 of Scioli is the 12 of Yurashak, and looks like he's going to do just that. He'll clear him off turn 2, and down the back and into 3. The 26 going to peek his nose to the inside, but to no avail as Beckner still finding a little bit of a loose car there in 3 and 4. Good look at the Calusa Pines Camaro as Beckner continues to lead here in Chicago.
It really helps to have teammates, even if they're racing you. At the times that they're not, it is paying off for that 27. A little bit of door-to-door in the background. Alex Bell in that 15. We'll keep an eye on him in the short term again because we saw how quickly that car can go. The 9 of tearing in the wall out of turn 2.
Man.
Bounced off it pretty hard. Saw him coming with a vengeance on the outside. Just ran out of room.
I've seen 3 wide a number of times, and I don't know if it's worked once out of turn number 2. It just run out of room there quick. Even 4's tight. They almost made contact again. Garrett Grant's in the middle of that. Mitchell Weaver and Jordan Martin are 3 wide even further back than that as Beckner keeps the lead. And those top 3 teammates staying on the way bottom while Cameron Hearn is leading the charge on the top side.
7th on back that door for position all the way back to Senesac. 7th through 15th all in that picture right there as Hearn looking to break away from that. Bell still running inside the top 10. Slaughter still running that high lane. A little further back to see some more 3 wide action here. Brody Falconer in the 42's been in quite some conundrums in this race, but he's got the clean car as 09 of Senesac on the tail end of this.
Got a great view out the windshield of how wild it is at Chicagoland Speedway. 45 laps to go, and everyone crowding that outside lane, trying to find some space to race.
Everyone at the back behind Hearn, at least 5, 6, 7 cars running the top, but everyone else in the field is pretty much on the
wall.
JT, great defense out of Ford. Looked minor, but he got into it for sure.
Yeah, definitely a scrape. I think it was even less than what Beckner did out of 2, so he should be fine. Those 3 putting a good pace down short run, but maybe not better than Cameron Hearn, who's flying to the front on the top side. Reminds me of Iowa in the Cup race about a month ago. He's all the way up to the bumper of Scioli into the top 5.
And still trying to work that spot from the 6 of Munsell, who's entered the picture right on the bumper of Scioli. That's going to be nerve-wracking for the 7. There you see them still working through the 4th position now as Hearn continues to make his climb towards the front.
Up into turn 1. Cameron making that high groove work. Look at the speed he's able to carry through the center and exit of the corner. But for how long? We've seen that move work, but only for a short period of time. And the 3 low-dollar racing cars continue to dominate this race as it begins to wind towards its end. What does the 7 of Scioli have to do, or for that matter, the 73 of Jake Nichols? What do they have to do, Connor, to get themselves out of this tight spot that they're in right now?
They got to get in front of these guys. First off, Scioli can't be affording to fight these guys short run. The best thing for him right now also could be Cameron Hearn trying to fight those top 3 teammates and mainly Beckner for the lead. But with about 40 laps to go, you're running out of time. You need to get up there and fight them now. I know you want to save the tires, but even when it looked like they were saving tires in the previous run, that 27 was able to pull away from James Scioli and Jake Nichols. So you got to go soon.
Big moment for Slaughter off turn 4. He had to back off there, and he's going to let everyone go that was behind him. That was the 10 of Elwood, the 73 of Nichols, and he's going to try and regroup here. Meanwhile, 4 of Hearn worked his way to the 4th spot, but still up front, Kyle, those top 3 of low-dollar racing holding their own.
Yeah, they are in a great position right now. Even battling amongst themselves, they have not made it clear that Travis is the car that they need to win this race. To see Hirschak get in the wall a bit out of 4, but they have made it easier for him at times while still racing. They're not giving up by any stretch. They are going for the win. Don't get yourself crossed up about that, but they are definitely cutting the 27 to break when he needs it. 40 laps to go, and about 20 minutes from now, we'll know who wins the race and the championship. It might be the same driver.
It could very well be, as 3 wide between these 3 continue. Weaver's been in the middle of 3 wide or in the bottom of 3 wide, seems like all race. Weishart's trying to recover from bad pit strategy. They're almost banging doors off the corner every single time. But Weishart is back up to 17th, at least back on even terms. Maybe he has a shot at the top 10 after all this, but I was about to say, that's the hat trick of low dollar. All of them hit the wall at one point. Look at the mess ahead of these guys.
Yeah, Senesac, Fambro, Stafford, and
62, Weaver.
Weaver.
Off the door. I think that was the 30 that he bounced off with, Hunter.
Yeah, that was close there for Weaver, but they're still trying to settle it out up here. Stafford, Fambro, the 09 Senesac, Jordan Martin in this as well. Guys, it's the last race of the season, trying to go out on a high note, trying to get a little bit closer towards that front, like the 3-wide battle up front we have here. Reagan's Garrett, Moran, Alex Bell, and Matthew Bell trying to fight for that top 10 spot, but it's going to be close with Bell near the wall.
Watch the exit of the corner. Right there, it gets very, very tight, and Matthew Bell has been just absolutely riding the rim. He looks like a can opener up there, peeling the outside wall, but continues to leave a lot of space on the bottom, and he's had to use all that at corner exit a couple of times.
Garrett Grant's had to use up the front of his number 5 Mustang. You can see the nose pushed in a little bit. I think that was contact with Matthew Bell a couple laps ago off of 4, but Bell unharmed out of it. The 5's going to take the brunt of that hit, but still fast in the middle line, clinging onto a top 10 for the time being. But Matthew Bell has been riding all night long, almost clear, not quite though, as we're going to see drivers all over the track for the rest of this race searching for grip as Cameron Hearn starts to fall back. Justin Munsel's now into the 4th position. Scioli's got to be the next one in line to pass that 4 car.
Yeah, he almost got into the wall there. Battles up front. Hey, we've stabilized for now, but they're still fluid as 6 of Munsell holds that 4th spot a little further back here. We still see that battle rolling on the outside. You got Fambro and Jordan Martin trying to get around Bronson Stafford, and Alex Bell looking to shut the door. So they're working their way down the back and into 3.
A little block there from the 30 of Miller on Shane Abbey. And aggressive back here between these 2.
I don't think Abbey's going to appreciate that, but maybe Miller thinks the 84 did something to cause him to spin. Not quite sure, but that was definitely an aggressive block for what is 18th position. Miller's still not able to recover from the speeding penalty, as they are still mixing it up back here. Brody Fowler had a good run last week. Jordan Martin's clinging into the top 15 a little further ahead of this, is still waiting for James Scioli or Jake Nichols to come closer to the 27 of Beckner. But the racing's hot at the back. Mitchell has hit the wall at the 3.
There's Senesac. Someone just stripped the wall in front of them too. I think that was Alex Bell in the 15. Getting a push from Matthew Bell, so the Bells somewhat working together for now on the front stretch. And then the
Bell squared.
Bell's ringing. Whoa, to the bottom. Look at the 18.
Bell sliding.
That was going to be, whoa, they're still sideways out of turn 2. This is just great stuff back here. 30 and the 84 are side by each, and it seems like they weren't stoked about each other. We'll see how this pans out. All the while, Beckner still leads by a 1/10 and a half of a second.
Yeah, I'd look for the 30 and 84 and even the 50 to probably stop playing nice here in a moment. Weishart's in the middle of it, Weaver, Falliker. I don't think a lot of people are happy with each other back here, as this is definitely the most, I think, intense battle on the track. The 84 slides, the 30 keeps the bottom, but Abby's really loose off the corner. Miller's back ahead.
Pulling up the third three of Weishart, I think, so he might try to make a move here. Speaking of making a move, for the lead up front, Euroshak to the outside of Travis Beckner. Again, the low-dollar guys are just swapping spots back and forth, and they're still making it work. They're still able to drive away from everyone else. This is almost bad, and Rabel's right there on the outside of him.
Ooh, there's just cars everywhere.
I think I saw someone lose their bumper. I think it was Brody Falliker. Yeah, 42 lost his bumper on that. Somehow, no debris yellows, thankfully, but that's really going to hurt his performance.
Let's see what happened. It sounded like there was some conundrum out of 4. We have a stack up on the bottom. Watch the 84. He's going to get sideways, and Rabel's going to tap the back of the 42, knock that bumper off. That's why I saw everyone scrambling.
That's about the 3rd or 4th time Shane Abbey's slid out of 4. He's had a rough night in that part of the track, as Connor Yeroshak's maintained or kept actually taking the race lead away. Now JT Poole's up to 2nd, Travis Beckner back to 3rd, but he still has 1 position and about half a second in between him and James Scioli for that championship position. He's going to go back to the inside of Poole here, as the top 10 have gotten really spread out.
Yeah, they're still working their way towards the 27th Travis Beckner holding that championship lead for the time being, and hard scraping the wall back there. These guys still trying to go out on a high note. Lakatos was having such a good run, but has fallen all the way back to 22nd.
Lakatos had a big moment out of 4. Big sideways slide all the way to the apron. The 42 of Falliker sideways.
Now this is why I'm shocked you said we'd go green. These guys are all over the place, at the back and at the front. I mean, this is treacherous. Those temps are down to 94 track temp, so maybe that makes things a little better, but the sun's still beating down on this track.
Yeah, still slick out there, but for some more than others, I guess, as still up front, it's Yeroshak leading the way with Travis Beckner leading the way for the championship side of things, but these guys have slowly but surely been catching up a little bit as the 27 tires start to fade away. The 7 and the 73 still there. And in between those guys, you got Justin Munsell running in 4th, and then Alan Elwood running in 6th after having that strong performance in Iowa, nabbing that win. Looking to end the season inside the top 10 as he looks to take a little bit of a hiatus, and hiatus, part of that word is high, and to the high line is the 26th of Poole looking for the lead.
I can stitch it together however you like there, Hunter. Down the back straightaway, the 26 pulls ahead, and JT Poole re-clears Yeroshak for the top spot.
We got battles all around the track. The battle for the lead might continue, as Yeroshak, I don't think, is that much faster or slower at that than the 26. Beckner is going to get his way into this fight, as Low Dollar is putting a beating on the rest of the field right now. They got 8/10 of a second over Justin Munsell, who continues to hold off James Scioli. Now Elwood still ahead of Jake Nichols, as they got really tight off the corner with Poole riding the high line.
Trying to play the long game with this one, as they still have a good bit of ground to make up, but it has diminished a good bit. And there you see in the back, the 7 is starting to work on that high lane, trying to get some of the heat back into the tires, try to get a little bit of momentum off the corner, but...
Oh, we got a car in the wall at a 4, really slow.
Matthew Bell.
Oh, he killed the wall that time.
You might park it.
Yep. Alt F4.
Ooh, it was a crash.
Ooh,
61
man.
of Bronson Stafford. Here's another look at it.
Let's see. Bell's been riding really high all night. And yep, tags the wall, and Stafford's there, and bam.
Yeah, big hit there for the 43.
And nothing he could do there. Shane Therian just, I think, hit the wall, but he kept it straight. He's having a tough night tonight, as Scioli makes his way up in a 4th position. Just cleared Justin Munsell, as Elwood gives way to Jake Nichols at the same time. So now, with about 25 laps to go, the 2nd and 3rd in the title are trying to climb through the field. And does that change what Yeroshak does with Beckner on his rear bumper?
Yeah, half a second separates the 27 and the 7. The championship on the line here at Chicagoland. 25 now, going to be 24 to go for the Area Pro Series in the Season 5 finale at Chicagoland. The 7 has cleared the 6 of Munsell. He's working on that high lane. So is Jake Nichols. He's almost in the wall there. You see in the middle 1 and 2. Guys, they have 20 laps left to settle out the championship. If they have anything left in the tank, we got to use it all now.
I think the best thing that could happen to the 27 is that we get a yellow. Giving everyone a reset and having all 3 of those cars controlling out front, I think that gives him the best possible advantage. I don't know that he's got the car over Scioli in the long run, and James has been equal or quicker the last couple of times around. We'll keep our eyes on this lap time advantage. If he can keep the distance, he'll be all right. But once James is within a 1/10.5 to 2/10 of a second, it's game on.
Well, last time by it was half a tenth. Beckner was actually faster than Scioli, so the gap maintained around half a second. Jake Nichols was faster than both of them the previous time by, but along with that high line last, he's now getting around the 6 of Justin Munsell as those top 3 low-dollar cars stay in the same order, not battling anymore. Once again, Nichols was fast, Scioli was a touch faster. They were both faster than Beckner, but only just, as now we're 3, 4, 5 with the top 3, as now the battle is really for 7th. Elwood and Hearn are close in tow.
Trying to get the 7 of Scioli a little bit off his toes as well, with the 73 and Nichols just working his way through. And there you see on the left, the last lap by, the 7 and the 73 were quicker than the 27. But they have to keep that up over the next 20 laps or so if they want to have a shot at contending for the championship.
Next time by is 20 laps to go. It's about 10 minutes worth of racing. Travis Beckner has the advantage over James Scioli and Jake Nichols. And he's got 2 teammates out ahead of him, but nobody protecting the Rick's Hot Sauce Supra in behind, or the Matco Tools Toyota Supra that lurks in 3rd.
And these 2 teammates as well, interested to see how they race each other for what's second in the title. If the 73's faster, maybe the 7 would give way, but you really don't want to let the battle for the title kind of go away like that. So I think the best things for Beckner is his teammates 1-2 and being around his teammates, but I think the best thing that can happen to him is those 2 teammates behind him start the battle. Is even with them not battling, they were not much faster than the 27 last time by. As a matter of fact, they were 100th slower.
Look at the different lines of approach here. You're either all the way on the bottom or you're all the way on the outside. There's no in between.
What I've noticed about the lap times is that it's kind of back and forth. But when they seemingly gain a bit more than they do. So they are slowly creeping in on Travis Beckner. But I don't think it's enough to catch him, especially if they have to battle themselves, which Jake Nichols might be a hair quicker than Scioli here in the short term. But we'll keep our eyes on this again. 3, 4, 5, those are your championship contenders. Highest finishing driver wins the title. And Beckner is doing a great job defending. He's not sticking with his teammates, which makes me nervous, Connor, but he has been matching her slightly better the last couple of times. That time he's slightly slower.
What I've been noticing, he's running the middle in turns 3 and 4. He's on the bottom 1 and 2, but it seems like he wants to be in the middle, not on that white line in 3 and 4, while it seems like Scioli and Nichols are now planting their cars to that bottom line in 3 and 4. Getting some cleaner on the nose, while Beckner does not do the same thing. Once again, Beckner a groove higher. Maybe he's trying to get the left sides on that seam and get ripped up through the center of the corner, but didn't work last time. Half a tenth lost to the 2 behind him, as Elwood maybe scraped the wall, battling Cameron Hearn for the 7th position. And caution's out. Caution. It's Shane Abbey. Bronson Stafford's on his side in turn number 3.
Whoa.
What on earth is going on there?
And he's not going to flip back over.
Well, that changes everything.
Changes everything.
Everyone's still got 2 sets of tires left as well. And now this is something we haven't seen all week. A yellow inside 20 to go.
Well, that and the car on its side.
Yeah. Oh, ooh, this was ugly. These guys must have had a run-in before this.
Let's see this. Oh, yeah, that's a boot. And then just gets wedged onto the wall.
I haven't seen one of those in quite some time.
I bet you this angle will be fascinating.
I can't imagine Scioli and Nichols are happy with that. Right, hard split the difference.
I wonder if there was more. If we go back, he would have been behind him for a while. There had to have been something that led to this.
Maybe when they were in that big pack, something happened,
It
but
was so long ago, though.
well, new drivers have long memories.
Yeah, nothing that I can reasonably find that would tell me that Bronson did much to deserve that. But we don't know the whole story. What we do know is that it's about to be a very busy place on pit lane, and this is the money stop.
This is going to be interesting. I don't think I'd be shocked if we saw anything but 4 tires. And Scioli, Nichols, all their savings out the window. And at this point, it's going to be really tough with 2 teammates for Beckner to get to that 27, pending what happens on this set of stops, because we've seen Euroshak get the lead from that number 1 stall every single time they've come down.
I don't know why. I have a hunch Scioli might take 2 tires. I might be wrong, but I feel like someone's going to take 2 tires in this, whether it's championship contenders or not.
Left side's up. And no, he'll be taking 4.
Hunch is out the window.
Winner off pit road is the 12th and the 26th. Where's the 27? All the way back in 6th place.
Oh my God.
That's a bad miscue to happen.
And I don't think it wasn't in the box. I wonder if he made a mistake.
Yeah, he missed it. He missed his stall entering.
Right here.
Watch this. This cannot happen.
Oh, man.
Wow.
This cannot happen.
The crashed car was right ahead of him, too, so that can throw you off. But that is not what Travis Beckner wanted to see.
No, that's such a sinking feeling. It's such a mistake to make. And it's easy to do if you got all these guys going through pit stalls. It's such an easy mistake to make. I'm shocked more haven't done it this week, because old tires with a slick pit road, it's easy to do. But that could not have came at a worse time. The strength of his race tonight has been short run, but we'll see if he can get back up there. He's going to restart 6th behind Jake Nichols, but 3 spots behind new championship leader James Scioli.
That is big for that to happen. So they're going to go green with about 12 to go. The low-dollar racing teammates are going to be in the front row, so that's interesting to note, with the 7 and the 6 in the row behind them. But yeah, I still think there's some hope left for the 27 at Beckner. Not all hope is lost. I mean, he's been the better of the 3 drivers up to this point tonight. And like you mentioned, Connor, he is good in the shorter runs compared to the 7 and the 73, but with that being out the window, there's only going to be 12 laps to go when we go back green, so I'm not sure how much the 73 or the 7 are going to hold back.
We'll see if maybe those top 2 can make a difference.
Yeah, that's something I was going to bring up. Is I don't think Beckner's out of this at all. I think, the caution put him in a bad spot, right? The mistake on pit lane was his own. But what you can't do now is get in your own head. He's got laps left. It's not a green-white checkered. He's got 12 laps to get things done. And he's going to restart on the outside. That arguably gives you more mobility. And one of those championship contenders is to his inside. So really, I mean, he's going to go into turn 1 on equal footing with Jake Nichols. It's the 7 that he's got to worry about, and he's got 2 teammates up front that know the scenario. And while I don't think they're going to get that aggressive throwing crazy blocks and things, Connor, they're certainly not going to make it easy for the 7 of James Scioli.
Definitely not. Those 2 are going to race hard. They're both hungry for a race win. Poole hasn't won. It's been a while since Euroshak won, when he won about 3 in a row. So he's hungry as well in his first race in a little while in this Pro Series. They're going to race hard at the front, and that's the best thing that can happen to Beckner. He's got to get by the 73 as well, but I expect things to get pretty jam-packed at the front with really everyone who's in the top 10 right now. I think any one of these 10 can win it, from the leader, Euroshak and Poole, all the way back to Alex Bell and Casey Lakatos. Even Jeremy Miller's in 12th, so you got a lot of hungry drivers top of the running order to get very stacked up. And this is, once again, something we haven't seen all week. We've had long runs to decide titles Monday, Tuesday. It's going to be a sprint to the end of the area season tonight.
That'll be rush hour traffic, Kyle. I know that's bad in Chicago, but an hour outside the racetrack, I don't know how bad it can get. It'll definitely be quick, though.
Well, it's about to be a lot faster, thick traffic, I'll tell you that. That 6 of Justin Munsell is right in the danger zone between all 3 of the championship contenders. James Scioli in that pink Rick's Hot Sauce Toyota is the leading driver. Look at the restart from the 27, and immediately green flag is back out. He's going to pass the 73 and the 26 to the outside.
Pays to have teammates, him and Euroshak, certainly timed it up. Beckner's going to get in a much better spot because of that, but he did not get ahead of Nichols as easily, and Scioli's still going to get a jump ahead. Watch this slider from Nichols right in front of the 27. Munsell got forward. He's weaving. He saves it, and now we're 2, 3, 4 with the top 3 in the title fight.
Man, that was a big save from the 6 of Munsell, but to no avail as they're still 3 wide behind the championship 3. Elwood to the outside of that, but Yurashak leads with 11 to go. Scioli with the championship lead. Here comes Beckner trying to lick to the outside to no avail. 3 wide behind him into 1.
Yeah, JT Poole is in the center of a hornet's nest right now. The 4 on the bottom, the 10 on the top. Both those drivers are hungry for another win. They're going to almost get close to banging doors, but it's the 12 of Yurashak that leads the 18 top to bottom to the ground floor. And here comes the 27 to the bottom. He tried to catch the 73 off guard, but no dice from the 73.
Nichols didn't get to the white line, but Beckner did not really get a run off the corner because of it. This is really letting Scioli have a decent gap and not having to battle really anyone. Yurashak fast enough to not be in front of the 7. And Nichols, this time he does not block the high side. He's going to give Beckner the way high line. Watch this run from the 27 into turn 3.
Oh, big run from Beckner. He's got the 10 of Elwood to give him a tap going into turn 3. What does he do with it? He keeps it to the outside. Nichols going to keep low. Same with the 7 of Scioli. These guys just trying to manage their way to the finish as behind them, JT Poole slipping back all the way in 7. Less than 10 to go.
It's about to get really exciting here with this 27. He is in desperation mode now. Laps are clicking away. We might not get another yellow. He's right up against the outside wall, trying to find any ground he can. He's in the fence out of 2.
Didn't hurt him too badly. He still has momentum on Nichols, but not to get to the inside or outside, but that didn't kill him. Definitely desperation mode. Remember, Bristol dominated that race, thought he got it taken from him, ends up stealing it back in the final corner. Don't count him out just yet. He's still right on the bumper of Nichols, who at the same time is gaining on Scioli.
It's not over till it's over, and there you see on board the 27, riding all the way up near the outside wall, just inches away from error as you see him exit turn 2. Gonna have a massive run down the back.
He's not getting as big of a run as I think he'd like. And the thing is once he gets by the 73, that's only job 1 of 2 done. He still has a teammate out front. JT Poole's all crossed up behind him with Munsell and the 4 of Cameron Hearn.
This has been more costly for Poole in a certain way, not really title implications, but now he's ran top 3 all race. He's back to 7th. Not a good restart for him as Nichols now goes to the high side. Beckner switched up because of it. Poole slid the 4. They kept it straight. And Nichols is going to stay in front of Beckner just barely as they're still gaining on James Scioli.
Well, look right behind them. You got 3 wide action with Robertson on the outside.
Oh,
man. In the middle, and they're almost crashing there out of 4. Robertson scraped the wall. They're still fanning out for position all throughout the field with 6 to go.
Here comes Beckner to the bottom in 1. To the bottom of the 73. This is for 2nd in the championship. Out of turn 2, side by side down the back straightaway here at Chicagoland. They're coming to 5 laps to go, and he's running out of time.
They're fanning out in the background. This is the best thing Scioli can see. Lets him pull away. They're going to slow each other up big time, being side by side like this. Where does Alan Elwood go? Does he push or does he go 3 wide? They're still dead even. This is hurting both drivers at this point, and Elwood's going to go up to 73.
Going to give him a little tap going into turn 1. Don't want to get too close to the championship drivers. Want to let them race it out. Beckner still working on that bottom. He's going to be a little bit loose there. Almost touching the 73 at Nichols. The 7 of Scioli, loving what he's seeing, driving away from it all.
Beckner has got to get clear of the 73 very, very quickly. Big slide.
Nichols is clear again. And that really set back Jake Nichols. He was gaining on Scioli. Now that gap is really up to about half a second.
On the wall.
Chris Rabel stays straight. Connor Yurashak is clear by half a second. Then it's James Scioli with no pressure from behind. Then it's Nichols, Elwood, and Beckner in the 27, who's going to have this one potentially wrestled away for a crash for what felt like 30th place. That has got to be so frustrating, but the mistake on pit lane was ultimately what might have done him in.
I don't think Beckner needs a yellow, not just him. I think Nichols is going to too. I don't know if he can make it work with 3 to go. That is so much time to gain, and he's just not gaining anymore. That battle with Beckner lost him a shot at it for now.
Yeah, Beckner's, that's pulling the wall right behind Beckner, but I feel like he's going to have to start ripping the top here. Nichols is if he wants to have a shot at it.
Miller and Theory are battling hard for about 22nd. You never know where the incident could come from, but no incident at the front. We're 2 laps to go for Connor Yurashak.
Yeah, Yurashak looking to end the season on a high note with a win. Couldn't quite make it to the round of 8 in the playoffs after having that miscue on pit road a couple of weeks back. Took some time off and is looking to end it with a win. That's the 7 to Scioli, breathing down his neck though. But the 7 smooth sailing, 6 car lengths in front of Jake Nichols, Kylas, are coming to the white.
Last lap at Chicagoland Speedway. 17 races ago, in the month of October, we started things off. We didn't know who would be the dominant force. There were some new names and new faces that were battling for this title. James Scioli returning to defend. Connor Yurashak, a new driver in the field. Jake Nichols, not new to area, but new to this championship. Connor Yurashak, though, didn't make it all the way to the championship 4. Had he done that, he might have been the champion, but he will win the race. But James Scioli, from out of nowhere, is going to win the championship over Nichols and over Beckner. And in a heartbreak for the 27, he comes home 5th.
I picked that right. I think I got winner and title, so that's good. But wow, what a sprint to the finish that was. Scioli got to the front. When it mattered most, as Poole and Munsell hit each other.
Oh,
I don't know if there was. I think Miller's coming to congratulate, and that he's run from Senesac. Don't know, but those 3 put on a heck of a fight. It's a big heartbreaker for Beckner, who had it almost wrapped up if it went green, and that was definitely bad blood between Poole and Munsell. But those 3 put on a heck of a fight. It's a heartbreaker for the 73 as well, second in both title fights, but James Scioli in the Pro Series, he is inevitable.
On top of that, Owners Championship been locked up by David Weishart Racing, which ironically, the 7 and the 73 were both a part of that. Played big dividends there. He'll do burnouts as he is the season 5 champion.
Oh,
that is the 12.
I was trying to figure out who that
you
was.
Got
over
dual
there.
burnouts.
12 wins the race, 7 wins the title. While they do their burnouts, let's go back and have a look at what happened on the back straightaway post-race. I'm interested.
Something happened. Justin Munsell was not happy. Gave him a shot there. Then Poole returns the favor in a big way. I'm not sure where the contact happened, but neither driver was very happy.
Yeah, either way. James Scioli is your champion, and there's the team lining up for photos, and it could have so very easily been a different team lining up for photos here. And you have to feel for the 27, because you don't know what would have happened had the race gone green, but I feel like he would have won the championship had there been no caution.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like it was going to line up for a Travis Beckner title. I mean, I don't think those two were fast enough long run to get him. Beckner was the best of everything tonight, really. I really never saw his long run fall. Maybe we didn't get the run to see it, but he was so dominant in the title fight tonight. And the yellow, oh gosh, Jeremy Miller is dead, but it's just what a heartbreaking mistake to make on pit road. He was dominant tonight, but over those other two.
Well, here's a look at your race results, and it's Yurashak in the 12 that will return to a victory. Then it's Scioli and Nichols, the rest of the top 3. Elwood, a nice solid top 5 result in the last race of the season for him. Then it's Beckner and Poole. Hearn, Fambro, Munsell, and Weaver, the rest of the top 10. How about that? 62 getting up there for the mix. Connor, that's an impressive run.
It came out of nowhere, but good top 10 then this season for Weaver, who is likely, I believe, going a different team. We'll definitely see that when it comes June or July, whenever the season starts up. But more drivers. Garrett Grant ran top 5, finished as 11th. Slaughter 12th. Mitchell, Martin, Robertson, then Anna Sogak, Senesac. Lakatos 18th after running fast short run. Julio Villalobos Jr., he got 3rd at Charlotte, ends with a top 20 tonight. And David Weishart, that strategy earlier in the race never worked out for him. He finished 20th. And I've got to quickly note, Hunter, I got to note Alex Bell. He had another, whether it was internet or computer related, he ran well tonight, but once again, he has no finish to show for it.
As you see the rest of the results there, Falker, Darian Miller, Pierce, Abbey, as I mentioned, Alex Bell, Chris Rabel, Hartz, Stafford, and Brown rounding out the top 30. I'm looking through. Last year, Weishart won this race leading 42 laps. Connor Yurashak also led 42 laps tonight en route to his win.
Funny how that works. Jake Nichols was third in the race, second in the championship hunt for the second time this week. Jake, you're home second in the title fight. What could have been tonight? You had a good car, ran pretty well, but never really tasted the lead. I don't even know if tonight you had 3 laps led this evening, but didn't seem like winning was on the table as far as the race, but didn't need to win the race to win the title tonight. Just came up 1 spot short. Take us through that tail end and then that caution that led to you getting over the 27 and having a shot at least for a corner with that number 7.
Yeah, car. I mean, obviously, car drove good. There was a lot of grip out there. Probably more than I wanted to have, but I don't know. We didn't have the short run pace. I was a little too free, especially that last run. I should have low fueled a little more, but either way, I was just driving hard. Same way Monday, just seeing what was out there, and I think if it stayed green before the last caution, we could have maybe had a shot. I think James and I were both catching Travis, and I mean, it was going to be a fight for the title there between the three of us, but either way, it worked out. David Weishart Racing 1-2. Obviously, the team title as well. James and I were pretty damn near close to same speed the whole season, so it makes sense. 1 and 2 at the end of the day. He earned it no matter what. I could not match that pace on that last run there. He was digging. Like 10 more laps, maybe. That's a hard maybe, but either way, good night for us and the Matco Tools Toyota Supra. Thanks to everyone at David Weishart Racing. We had an amazing season together. Hopefully this isn't the last time I run with them. Hopefully we get some more in the future. And thanks to 609 Motorsports for being on the car all season. It was awesome representing them. And same with them. I hope it's not the last time. Hopefully there's a lot more in the future and more wins to boot.
Jake Nichols, second in the title fight, third in the race. Jake, thanks for talking to us, and we look forward to seeing you again next season.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
See you then.
Connor Urashak, maybe didn't win the war, but you won the battle, Connor. Wow. After returning from a couple weeks off, what coulda, shoulda, woulda. You won the race at least, still ended on a high note, and I'm sure that's got to be a heck of a way to go into the offseason. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I'm definitely happy about my win. I feel bad for Travis. He had a good shot at it there, and then I think someone towed in a stall right beside him, and then he missed his box on pit road. So it was kind of just a tough set of circumstances. But, I mean, I showed that I could win the championship, so I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, job well done. I mean, as far as the race pace tonight, your team was just up front slicing and dicing. Seemed like there was a little rhyme or reason to how you guys were racing. Everyone was battling, but also being smart around your teammate in his title hunt. So how much coordination was happening throughout the race to make sure you guys didn't get crossed?
We were definitely trying to be safe, but I mean, the setup was pretty free. So the car that was leading would typically just be slower than the other two because they were looser. So that would allow us to kind of swap around and have some cars lead for a few and use up a little more tire while the others sat in dirty air and saved a little right rear. So, I mean, it worked out good. I feel like on the last run there where Travis started to fall off of us a bit and was going to be under pressure from Scioli, I wish that either me or JT led at the start of that run and then let Travis save some tire. But overall, I think we managed it pretty good.
Connor Urashak wins at Chicagoland. Congratulations, Connor. We look forward to seeing you again in season number 6.
Yeah, have a good night, guys.
Thank you. You as well. And Travis Beckner comes home tonight in 5th place in the race. Travis, tonight, obviously not the result you wanted. And I feel for you. That caution late in the race, it was a tough way to lose the advantage you had on track. But then the pit stop is really what ended the title hunt because the restart and beyond, it just was so hard to make up ground. I know it's not the result you wanted, but still a strong season, and at least you had some good battles up there with your teammates. Take me through your evening from the start all the way to the end.
Yeah, it sucks we got a bunch of idiots in the back wrecking for last like usual. I mean, I'm getting tired of it. I've gotten screwed over one way or another by some person or something. Every single championship I've been in, I'm getting tired of finishing 3rd place. Like, Season 3 finished 3rd place, Season 4 finished 3rd place. Now this season I finished 3rd place again.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be frustrating, right? Because you work so hard to get all the way here, and then, it's one thing if it's a crash for the lead or something, but you got to crash at the back. That kind of mixes things up. But going back, I mean, is there anything you could have done different? Because issues on pit lane happen all the time. You very well could have lost those spots from just a slow iRacing stop, even if you didn't slide through the box. So is there anything you could have done different to kind of turn up the results of that, or take a different approach on the restart, or anything of that sort?
Yeah, like you said, not slide through my pit box, but I couldn't see it. I straight up couldn't see it with Bronson Stafford being parked there with his pit box being right behind mine. I mean, it's nothing against him. He was fixing damage, but I just couldn't see, and then when I realized I was too deep in, it was too late, so.
Well, I know it's a frustrating way to end the season, Travis, but is this just stoke the fire for another season and try to go out there and win it this time?
Yeah, I can't wait to come back next season with Central United Motorsports and coming back and running for them, and hopefully getting my first championship under the belt with them.
Travis Beckner, third in the title fight, fifth in the race. Travis, thanks for talking to us, and congratulations on a decent season, P3. And I know it's, again, a frustrating evening, so thanks for coming up here and chatting with us, and we hope to see you back.
Yeah, before I go, huge shout out to JT Poole. I wouldn't have been able to be in this championship fight if it wasn't for him. He knew he wasn't going to make the first race of the playoffs, and he had a road to pro rounds. So he ended up giving up his playoff spot to me. I wasn't even supposed to be in the playoffs, but at least I got in the championship 4 with it. And another shout out to Connor Euroshak, Mason Kane, for I don't know if we got second or not. I think it was pretty close on points, maybe not. But if not, we got third at least. And huge shout out to everybody at Low Dollar Racing. And of course my sponsors, Calusa Pines, Celsius, Alien Gear, Area Shop, and next season got a new sponsor coming on board. No longer Calusa Pines, it's going to be the Hendry County Motorsports Park. So huge shout out to them as well. And can't wait to come back next season and do it again. And shout out to y'all taking the time out of your day to come broadcast this.
Travis,
also,
thanks a lot.
Congrats to James Skyley on the championship.
And nice job, Travis. Thanks for chatting with us, and enjoy the rest of your night best you can. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Winner of the title, James Scioli. And James, tonight, there were probably points when you looked up at the running order and looked up at the relative box and thought, no way, with 5 laps or however many it was, 25 laps ago, could you run down that 27? But circumstances changed, and here you are. That last run, you were just unstoppable by the 73 and the 27, and it's title time again for the number 7. 5 wins on the season, and you come home a champion. You've just got to be stoked.
Yeah, there were definitely quite a few points in this one where I didn't know if the saving method was going to work, and JT, Yershak, and Beckner were all just kind of able to control the race up there. Them 3 were able to just get organized, get in line, and kind of save their stuff. And Jake and I really got stuck with people. You could really run hard on the short run. You could rip the top and make up a lot of ground. The problem is that you gave it up on the long run. So a couple times there, I just had to commit to the super save and hope they were coming back to us, and let Travis get to about a second lead there on that last run, and then just kind of started slowly chipping away. And it looked like right before we got the yellow there, he was starting to get really loose. So I wish that it would have stayed green. I think that I probably would have caught Travis, and then we would have been battling, and Jake would have been there too, and it would have been probably us 3 all brawling for the championship. But not too mad about the circumstances either to get the caution. Was able to get it to where they couldn't time the restart because Beckner was in the 3rd row, not the 2nd, and so was luckily able to just put my head down and click off some good laps there.
Yeah, I mean, looking back at the season as a whole, I mean, as far as the stats are concerned, Jake had you in a couple areas as far as consistency, but just winning races in a format like this, it's all important. So looking back, are there areas that you wish you could have had a better season? I mean, obviously, championship's great, wins are great, but does it bother you that Jake was just more consistent? Is that a goal for next season, is to improve the consistency as well?
Yeah, definitely a goal for next season, not just in this series, but just made too many mistakes, and I mean, got caught up in some different things in other series, but a lot of just mistakes and not good enough consistency, just pushing too hard at certain times, and definitely not as great. I knew it was going to be pretty much impossible to match my stats from last season and across all 3 series, so I definitely wasn't wasn't expecting that, but definitely was expecting a little bit more across all three. So yeah, just gotta stay consistent and get a little bit better, especially now after like the dynamic track updates and stuff. It's been a lot different. I'm really happy with how the setup was today. It was actually really, really loose, and you could kind of move around a little bit and still save in other areas. So it was definitely a blast, and I can't wait for next season.
James Scioli, your winner in the Florida State Builders Area Pro Series. James, congratulations. Enjoy the off-season, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you guys, and I got to give a final shout out to you guys for another amazing season of capturing all these races. You guys do a fantastic job, so hopefully we can keep you guys around for next season. Big shout out to the admin team for another great season. I really appreciate all the work that they do throughout the whole year. And then big shout out to rickshotsauce.com. Code Scioli gets you $7 off there still. Dandles Candles, Matco Tools, Butt Kicker, Chris Sports Cards, Elwood Designs, Roderick Racing Development, and big shout out to DWR as well for capturing the team championship.
James Scioli, congratulations, man. We'll see you around.
Thank you, guys.
And with that, another season is complete. 17 races in all three series and all the preseason stuff that went with it. Connor, your final thoughts on this season in general, because, man, there were some rough spots in Season 4, but Season 5 did not disappoint. Now, did it?
Yeah, we had crazy finishes, crazy races, a lot of crazy action across all three series. The Pro Series shined a lot of green flag running, a lot of really close finishes. Had one finish that was basically a dead tie on Thursday nights. Thursday nights still disappoint. You got to tune in if you're not tuning in. But 51 races, points races down, and we'll gear up for maybe 51 more in a few months' time as Area goes on hiatus, as we have 3 different champions this season. Michael Curham Monday night, Jake Matheson Tuesday night, and James Scioli goes back-to-back on Thursday nights in the Pro Series.
Yeah, what a way to cap off another great season of Area and the Florida State Builders Area Pro Series. Can't thank them enough for the support that they've given us all 5 seasons that they've been with us. Kyle, pleasure as always being with you guys in Sim TV. Connor Horn as well, Finney and Kuna as well. What a great season we had. I'm already looking forward to Season 6.
Oh, man, it's going to be a little while away, so you have to wait for some time. But SimTV still rolls on. We've got the DC Region SCCA Virtual Racing League on Wednesdays, and we've got the Toyota GR Cup North America Esports Championship starting up next Saturday at 2:30 Eastern. You can catch that live on the GT World YouTube channel, where SRO streams all of its global action, real and virtual. I'll see you there with Justin Prince, Finney DeCuna behind the scenes, pressing the buttons for the Yellows and for the Black Flags. Very excited about that championship hunt. And in 2 weeks' time, I'll be in Toyota GR Cup North America in the real world. You can watch that on GT World as well. Sonoma, California is our first stop on the calendar. Thanks so much, everybody, for a fantastic season, and we'll see you around for Season 6 of Area. Kyle Heyer, Connor Horn, Hunter Sleppy, and Finney DeCuna bringing you the action, and we'll see you next time.